Star baseball player story. Babe Ruth, the forever legend of Major League Baseball. At a shabby saloon in Baltimore, United States, that has just entered the 1900s, a small kid was being scolded by his parents. "Ruth, I can't believe how much trouble you are getting into. I have told you so many times not to get along with the troublemakers." On that day, Ruth had gotten along with some village boys and broken windows of other people's houses for fun while chewing on tobacco. Surprisingly, Ruth was only 7 years old then. His parents barely made a living running the saloon, so they were worried about their boy's future. "Darling, you have no other choice. We have to send Ruth to the industrial school where Brother Matthias is." Ruth's dad nodded to what his mom said. However, as the matter of fact, the place Ruth was to go to was more of a correctional institution for mischievous boys than an industrial school. Fortunately, Ruth got used to life in the school. Soon enough, his crooked personality became more gentle as the time went by. It was all thanks to the baseball brother Matthias taught Ruth. "Wow! I've never known a more fun game than this." Ruth rarely let go of the baseball from his hand. Pleased by what he saw, Brother Matthias brought Ruth to the club affiliate of the minor league Baltimore Orioles when Ruth turned Naka. Ruth pitched the ball in front of the club affiliate in great form. The fastballs he pitched hit the catcher's mitt instantly. Smack, smack, smack. "Wow, that's incredible. He'll become a good forkhander if he's trained right." And that's how Ruth became the official player of the Baltimore Orioles. His colleagues called young Ruth Babe Ruth instead of his legal name, George Herman Ruth. Soon enough, Ruth's talent was widely known. Naturally, many Major League Baseball clubs started to want him. The Baltimore Orioles, a minor league baseball club at the time, handed Ruth over to the Boston Red Sox with plenty of money. After joining a stronger team, Ruth started to show greater skills as a pitcher. "Is that player Babe Ruth? He pitches balls really well." "Sure, he does. It seems like our team will win the championship easily from now on." The Boston Red Sox fans complimented Ruth with no limit. The fans' expectation became reality later. Babe Ruth kept on rolling as a pitcher. He didn't even allow his opposing team a single score during 29 innings. The players of the opposing team shook their heads. "Phew, there was nothing I could do against that kid who is just over 20. It seems like it's going to be the age of the Boston Red Sox for a while. They have this great pitcher, Babe Ruth." But something nobody expected happened. On the 4th of January, 1920, the Boston Red Sox fans were bewildered when they opened the newspaper of the day. Babe Ruth transferred to New York Yankees. All the fans who read the article multiple times with bewilderment became enraged. "How can they kill our star for such a small amount of money?" The transfer fee the Boston Red Sox received was $125,000. It was a giveaway price compared to the worth of Babe Ruth, whose future was bright. When that year's new season opened, the Boston Red Sox club realized that they made a bad decision. They lost terribly many spectators. We don't like a baseball club that treats their players like money spinners. Yes, we don't want to root for the team that sold off our star overnight anymore. There was more. The team's game performance plunged so bad that there was no way they could win the championship. Even after a long time, the Boston Red Sox's performance did not get better. Sneers were thrown to them from everywhere. Tisk, tisk. They are put under the Bambino's curse. The Boston Red Sox will not win the championship for a long while from now, from now on. Bambino was Babe Ruth's nickname. In other words, they meant that the Boston Red Sox can't have a good performance for selling off Ruth to the New York Yankees and getting cursed from it. From then, the word Bambino's curse was mentioned by people for the whole years. It was until the Boston Red Sox finally won the championship in the World Series in 2004, when they defeated the St. Louis Cardinals. Then, how was Babe Ruth doing, who had been traded to the New York Yankees? Unlike the Boston Red Sox that turned into a mess, he became the biggest star with his brilliant performances, and not as a pitcher, but as a hitter. In fact, the New York Yankees had been spotting Babe Ruth's talent as a hitter. While he was playing as a pitcher, Ruth had been showing his talent as a batter whenever he had a chance to stand on the batter's box. When Ruth joined the team, they told Ruth to play just as a batter. You have been known as a pitcher, but you also have a great skill in batting, so you should change your position to a batter. When the club suggested this, Ruth confidently answered, "Very good. I will show you that my batting is as good as my pitching." The confidence of Babe Ruth was not an empty boast. He became the most successful batter than anyone else. He made no less than 659 home runs while he was with the New York Yankees. Fans went wild whenever Ruth stood on the batter's box. "Go, Babe Ruth, go! Hit the ball over the fence!" However, home runs were not the only thing he was good at. He never saved himself when he was playing as a defender or running around the bases as a runner. Soon, Ruth became a hero, not only of the New York Yankees, but of the American baseball scene. Babe Ruth was a philanthropist of kids, as well as the best star baseball player. While he was still working as a professional athlete, he often visited orphanages or hospitals to bring hope and courage to the kids who were in underprivileged environments. It was a marvelous change for Ruth, who used to be a troublemaker as a kid himself. Maybe that is the reason why people nowadays say about him like this: Babe Ruth was the dream of every American person, and he is now the forever legend of American Major League Baseball.